When you add the word wedding to it, we almost feel price gouged.
In the hot seat, we've got wedding DJ and host Anthony Dagger, who's been in the industry for well over 10 years. We also have makeup artist for well over 2 years, Catherine Cuidis. And lastly, we've got Toshi Muniz, wedding photographer for well over 10 years.
I asked ChatGPT to mock up a formula of 20% for 1 to 500, 15% from 500 to 1,000. And then I just put after 1,000, it's $100 and it caps.
By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to tip your wedding vendors with absolute confidence.
Hello. Welcome back to Wedding Wednesday. My name is Adrianna, and today's episode is going to be such an amazing conversation. We are having a vendor tipping conversation here live on Wedding Wednesday. Before we get into all the tipping questions, I'm going to please ask you to rate, review, and subscribe because it really does help our podcast grow. And with that, let's say hello to all of our guests. Hi, guys. How's everybody feeling today?
Amazing. Hello. Good.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
This is my first podcast.
Same here.
I mean, it's going to go great. Don't worry.
You look comfortable.
Yeah.
It's fake.
Just smile it. We go.
To kick things off, why don't you each go one at a time and just tell us a bit about you, your name, and what you do.
Go ahead. You look at me. Sorry, you can start.
No, I'll start. All right. My name is Toshimi Muniz Losas. I am a wedding photographer based out of, I guess, now Ottawa. But I started in Montreal, and then a few years later moved to BC, and now we're back here. Yeah.
I'm Catherine. I'm a makeup artist. I was a destination makeup artist in Greece for a year, mostly in the summer and beginning of fall. And now I'm back here in Montreal.
Love it.
Nice. Me, it's Anthony Dagger. I'm a DJ host. I'm going to make sure you're going to have the best day of your life. I'm an entertainment dancer, singer. I can do whatever you guys want. But I'm a DJ host. That's what it is today. So, yeah, that's me.
Well, welcome, you guys. Really, I want to ask you, first things first, when it comes to tipping, it's obviously a really big stress amongst, I think for vendors, you guys will tell me your perspective here, but I can tell you for a fact, it is a stress as the bride-to-be, as the people getting married. It's a topic of conversation amongst our friends and also within our couple as to how to approach tipping when it comes to weddings specifically. So what would you say is the reason tipping is a stressful conversation when it comes to weddings?
Well, I just think we've been talking about tipping a lot more since the pandemic. I feel like it's been part of the conversation, and whether it's coffee, whether it's, I guess it's leaked into weddings, and it's more of a topic of conversation than it has been in the past. What was the question?
Why is tipping stressful, ultimately?
You don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
If you give them too much or too less.
I don't know for you guys, but we don't really talk about this. Usually, with the clients or the bride and groom, whatever they want to tip, I'm happy. If they tip you because they love you, so that's what it is. At the end, it's not really like a typical thing. Sometimes it's just like, yo, amazing, $100 more, $200 depend, but it's not a big stuff for me. I don't mind. Tip, it's extra. Anyways, I have what I you give me what we deal for, and at the end, you give me more, I'm happy.
I think I'd say 20% of my weddings tip me.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
And sometimes it's not money. Sometimes it's
love your work.
Thank you. But sometimes it's not money. Sometimes it's a gift. It's like, oh, we got you this, or if it's a destination wedding, it's like, hey, we upgraded you to economy plus. I was like, nice, some leg room.
Oh, that's nice.
Just a little, maybe not a little thing, but they use their points to do something like that, or just show some extra level of gratitude. But I don't think about it. I mean, if when it comes to having to tip, it's I give a price and that's my price. Nothing changes if
it's not an obligation.
Yeah,
it's an extra. You love it. You love the guy. Tip it. He'll be happy. I think it's more an extra than I know for makeup.
So I agree that it is a gift, and it's usually taboo to talk about it with your vendor.
Yeah.
Because who wants to talk about gift giving, right?
Did you give me my gift?
Where's
my gift?
That's always an awkward moment.
Is that envelope for me?
It is an awkward moment, and you don't like talking about it with even with a waiter, you don't say, okay, I'm going to tip you 50. You don't talk about it.
True. But with waiters, I would say it's almost, at least in North America, it's an expectation to tip at the restaurant. With weddings, it seems as though from the vendor's perspective, what I gather from what you guys are saying is for you guys, it's not a stress. Like you don't really think about it. For the couple getting married, we do think about it. What would you say is kind of like the differentiating factor here? Why do you guys not think about it too much, but we do? You know, I think a waiter does think about their tips, right? Why would somebody like a waiter think about their tips more so than vendors in the wedding industry?
We set our prices. I think.
And we're not getting paid below minimum wage either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the difference between us and a waiter.
And if the lack of a tip affects us, I think it means we're just not charging enough to compensate for that. I mean,
100%.
we're already working in an industry where the uncertainty of the clients, like, oh, are we booked next month? Are we booked next? It's already a bit stressful to know, oh, are we booked or not, to be able to calculate how much we're making that year. Then you're going to factor in the uncertainty of tipping. It's
Depend on the budget too, you know. Sometimes like the bride and groom, like, oh my God, that's what I have. That's everything that I have. I put it on the entertainment. I put it, you know, on the DJ, photographer, all the team. So I feel for tips, you know, because maybe they receive gift from the, you know, from the guest at the end of the night. Maybe they give you 100 more. But it's really like we don't really talk about it. I got, if we say like 15 weddings, let's say 4 or 5 weddings, they give you tips sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it
Not happening
appropriate for the couple to ask whether or not we tip, or is it more appropriate to ask?
I'll always say no.
No. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Don't.
No, not appropriate to ask.
No.
If
If
you
they
wanna
were to
give more, you
ask,
give more.
if they were to ask, I would say, yeah, don't tip. Like if you're asking me, if the couples ask me, oh, how much do we tip? I was like, you don't. You know, that's the price. That's all the money talk we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah. That's
done.
It. That's it.
You know that the couples feel this sense of guilt when it comes to tipping, especially in the wedding industry. Like we feel a guilt at the restaurant. Obviously, if we don't tip, at least what's the expectation here? The minimum expectation is 15%. Since COVID, it increased to, I think 20% is the expectation now. We'll go into like what that means and what not versus, you know, the wedding industry. But when it comes to expectations with wedding vendors, I can speak for myself, feeling like if I have my set budget and I'm not planning on tipping a certain vendor, but I do tip another vendor, there's a guilt associated with that. How would you suggest that a couple kind of navigate
How
that
much you're
guilt?
paying? I'd say if there's a vendor, it's $500, or a vendor that's $1,000, or a vendor it's $2,000. If you really want to tip, I'd say, you know, within $500, that benefits them more than, let's say, a vendor who's at $2,000, where it's like $100 is nice, but it doesn't. Not that it's not money. Hey,
I think it's a really good question, but I really think the difference is, you know, you have the hall, like you said, the hall, the DJ, the photographer. Are we all on the same level? I think that's a good question, because I'm not sure, because we all, you know, do our services, we having fun, we make sure the wedding, everything is good. So is it you have to tip this guy, the same amount? That's a good question, because I can't answer that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think we relate tipping to like the bar staff.
Yeah,
because
what
that's
it-
something we
exactly.
were used to, or like say like
Bartender.
my barber, I tip him. So
Yeah,
let's
barber,
say
yeah.
let's say for hair and makeup. I mean, I don't know if do you guys tip
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
a salon, or
When I
like,
get my
but-
hair done, I tip. But when I did a makeup trial, I didn't tip. But I didn't know if that was appropriate or not, to be totally
Yeah, like what
transparent.
changes between outside of wedding or inside wedding?
It's more expensive. When you say wedding, it's more expensive.
Oh yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah.
Would you?
I usually tip when I go to the nail salon.
Okay.
So why not tip your makeup artist?
I think part of it is also thinking, well, the makeup artist did set their prices for wedding makeup. If I had gotten regular makeup, is there a price difference, first of all, at least in your services?
It's usually lower. The
It's-
price is lower when it's a regular makeup.
Okay. Would you be able to speak on why that is particularly?
You're using less product, I guess. I don't know. And it's not for a big event.
Okay. Is it less time as well for you?
Of course, like less time consuming, I guess.
Okay. Also, part of it maybe is I don't know. It's weird to say, but I'm trying to think of my own perspective here. When I get my hair cut, maybe I feel like it's the expectation because it's what we do, right? We're just like used to, we tip our hairdresser, our nail artist, but when you add the word wedding to it,
The stakes are higher.
the stakes are higher for you guys as vendors. But a lot of the times couples don't know that or realize that or feel that way. And so we almost feel price gouged already. And so the idea to add the tip on top feels kind of icky. Does that make sense?
It's a really good question. But I feel me personally, like at my wedding, it's not because I had a lot of friends, family, and working together for my wedding. So tips for sure for the waitress, bartender, the
Yeah.
staff, the hall. But the rest, I didn't
You didn't
tip
feel the need.
nobody.
Okay.
Like it was all, they were super happy to be there. They got the price. They give me a good price. I pay them. We didn't really discuss about this, but yeah, it's really it's really special actually. But you do whatever you want at the end of the day. You
Yeah,
don't
of
have to
course.
get, people get guilty for what at the end. It's you, between you and your friends. Maybe this guy who did your pictures at your wedding, you're never gonna talk to him anymore. You never know. You know what I mean? So you never know what can happen. But so whatever your budget, whatever how you feel, man, you did an amazing job, amazing DJ. I'm gonna give you $200 more. I don't do it, but it's not more than that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we know it's not an obligation.
Yeah.
We're just, I think, trying to manage our feelings in terms of like what's appropriate. I don't think there's a standard established across wedding vendors and the wedding industry in terms of tipping across different vendors like there is when it comes to regular beauty services or going to the restaurant. And if it's more taboo, like you said, to ask directly the vendor, would you recommend maybe another system to figure out what they should do in that specific situation?
I was playing around before when you messaged us in regards to this podcast. I was like, oh, let me think. And I asked ChatGPT to mock up a formula of like if it was up to $500, I think it was like 15% or 20%. If it was 500 to 1,000, it was like 15%. So 20% for
Yeah.
1 to 500, 15% from 500 to 1,000, and then I just put after 1,000, it's $100, and it caps.
Crazy.
Yes, after a certain point, if they're gonna
Yeah.
tip more, let's say there's a service, and I've gone very big tips that are like, what is it? This is a percentage off of what I charge. I thank you, but no, you overpaid. No, leave it. Oof, okay.
But most couples do have a budget, and that's why they do
Yeah.
feel guilty
Yeah.
because they don't have that big budget. And
If they want to tip, I'd say if they
Yes.
want to tip, I was like thinking of like, okay, if it's like a $500, yeah, maybe that's more. It's like if you do 15% of
big
5,000.
yeah, 5,000 is like in the range of a notary. Do you tip your notary? No. So
Good point.
Yeah.
I just thought of that now.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah, because notaries are part of weddings,
they are.
and photographers are expensive. They're like 1,000, 2,000, right? I don't know. Higher? Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. Because they are expensive, that's why most people don't tip.
And
It-
I agree with that.
It helps that there's an expectation. You were saying about your formula that it caps. It makes sense, actually. It does make sense. Did
No, go ahead. No.
I wanted to say, like, let's get back to, like, the pricing. I want to get back to, like, the pricing of regular service versus wedding service. I would like to hear from each of you, actually. What is the difference for your service? So, Anthony, as DJ and MC for a wedding versus a corporate event, let's say, what would be this difference here for you?
Corporate is more like I have basic packages because weddings we can add always extras. We can put some stuff that we can suggest you more stuff. It's several more big packages. So that I have like a regular package because you think corporal pay more, but depend. Now
Okay.
Christmas party, it's different than before.
Really?
I don't know. It changed
Less?
a lot. Yeah, it feel
Oh,
like
back in the day, Christmas parties were
that's what I'm telling you.
carte
but
blanche. Like,
yeah,
oh, yeah.
100%. But I feel like, are we need a photo booth? Do we need that? They always question like twice about this expensive, so expense. So it's different now. But I feel like it's less corporal than wedding for sure. For now, the game change, but yeah, it's really depend what do you guys exactly want for a wedding. But you have like the regular, the diamond, the gold, can be 2,000, 3,000, 2,005. Really depend of the quantity how many people also, like we was talking about, speaker, guest, and because you have corporal like 50 people, 100 people, 150. So it's different than 200, 250 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how so? So the stakes get higher for you as the amount of
Yeah,
people.
with the equipment and everything that we need, the
Okay.
moving heads, the setup. Do we need lights? Do we go with the little lights that, like, simple stuff for our weddings? Do we do games? Do you have gift? So it's all around what exactly you guys want. It make the big difference. Like it's
Okay.
$2,000 to $4,000.
Yeah, I like that you explained that because most people would think, well, whether you're DJing 50 people or 250 people, it's the same amount of work, but clearly it's not.
But the thing is more difficult, like a 50 people watching you just waiting, like it's smaller people, it's all together. I feel it's more difficult than a 200 people
Okay.
because
But you
they're
have
all
less
looking at you,
yeah.
you mixing the same thing like it's 200 people. What's the big change? So why I'm going to just charge less for the speakers?
Okay.
What's the big difference for me? I'm going to be there to that time. Even 200, 300 people, I'm just going to add for more speaker or less speaker. That's what it is, but it's the same expertise. It's me. It's, you know what I mean?
But the price goes higher for the wedding.
Exactly. Not
Because-
like I said, it's not a big difference with
Okay.
the corporate party. But like I said, it's more because we have more equipment for weddings.
Okay.
We don't need 6 moving heads, for corporate depend. We don't need pyro, dry ice. So it's big, more expensive. That's why.
Yeah. Catherine, I know you talked a little bit about the difference between regular makeup and bridal makeup, but talk to us a bit more about the difference there. Do you tend to do more people when it's bridal makeup? Are you doing, bridesmaids as well? Or are you really focused on the bride?
It's actually the opposite. I
okay.
tend to get requests only for the bride and a couple of bridesmaids.
Okay.
Whereas when I do fashion shows, it's like, at least 10 people within 2 hours. And you don't get paid as much because you only deal with the festival organizers and they don't pay as
We
well.
don't have a lot of budget.
No. And they usually pay in product or
Yeah.
like, let's say if I use $100 worth of makeup products, they'll pay me $100, which is not a lot for half a day.
Right. But then for bridal makeup, you would charge for how long are you on average at somebody's house?
For 2 people, it'd be like 2-3 hours.
2-3 hours. And you would say you charge more at a bridal for a bridal service?
For sure. Instead of a fashion show, yes.
And talk to
Because
us a
you're
bit
not
more why.
being precise. The makeup that you're applying on a fashion show is very quick. It takes like 15 minutes. So you're using less product and it doesn't have to be precise. You're not taking your time. And I don't know. But it's the same skill. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it's the same person offering the service.
It's the same person offering the service, but you're kind of saying the price increase is justified by the stakes being higher and your precision being higher, if I understand correctly.
Yes. And also maybe you're traveling farther. Whereas most fashion shows are downtown Montreal.
I have another question for
Yeah.
you. If you do, let's say 6 people, or more, do you automatically add a gratuity on that, or you leave
No,
it?
I lower the price.
You lower the price
don't know
per
why.
person. I guess you would lower
Because
the
it's
price.
a group and it's more people. I don't want to also overcharge. That's how I view it. I want to be fair and respect
I like
the
that.
bride's budget.
Do you know why some makeup artists or hair artists will charge a gratuity fee over a certain amount of people?
No, you would have to ask them. I don't know.
Fair enough. Tosh, how about you? What would you say is the difference really for your service when it comes to, let's say family photography versus a wedding photography?
I have one shot at it. Let's say you have 100 people in this wedding. There's people who have traveled for this. There's people that have literally changed their whole weekends. They're spending the money. This is all one day. And I need to make sure that not only do I capture it the way that the client would like me to, but it also means not to miss anything, whether it be because I wasn't paying attention or memory card loss, camera equipment. I have redundancy on redundancy. It's kind of, I'm a bit paranoid, and I'd rather be paranoid than nonchalant about it. Like, I'll be fine if it's just one. No, we, with our system, we have a backup to the other 2 cameras I have on top of me, and it costs money. So a lot of these cameras that have this level of technology, whether it's backup, and if I have an assistant halfway through the wedding, take one out, he does a backup or she does a backup, and it's up on the cloud within an hour, and it's just safety, backup of the backup.
Experience.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in situations where it's like, oh, wait, did we miss something? No, it's on this card. Okay, cool. But it's just, we have one shot at it. And during the day, I'll be honest, one of my jobs is to be a wedding planner. I'm there, and I have the schedule on my watch, and I was like, okay, we need to be here. I have to have them on their beats. I have to have them where they need to be, whether it's the ceremony, IQ, sometimes the MC, hey, we're here, we're doing this. If there's a gap between, in terms of communication between the MC and the wedding, I'll sometimes come in because I'll be selfish. I want my shot, but it helps out to keep things rolling. Yeah. And there are times where everyone's just waiting for something to happen. And again, I've been to so many weddings. I know what the next step is. It's easy for me to be like, oh yeah, let's start the music now. Okay. Yep. Start walking now, or switch places, where I find it that it's my responsibility to have the client be as comfortable as possible, because in turn, it makes my photos better.
I just remember a story about that, because I remember one of the last wedding I did, the bride and groom, they did like a crazy photo shoot downtown. They're supposed to be at the hall at 7:30. Tell me just, what do you think about, like, what time they came to the hall?
8:15.
9.
No.
The first course we start, the first service, not the first course, the first service we start to serve. Everybody was super stressed, but they have their shot. They were super happy, but the people were mad. It's a situation. It's like everything. I was super mad because everything was set. We got a big delay. People were left really early about that wedding, because they felt how disrespectful. I don't know why, but
with their time.
It's the time, but I feel like it's not easy to have. Like you said, it's pictures. I don't care about the people. I want my picture is one day. Like, you have to manage all of those stuff, so it's a lot of stress that day, man.
But you can't repeat it. And that's the thing. It's you have one shot at this, and that's why, I can do a photo shoot. It's an hour photo shoot for a price, and then a wedding. It's like, it's an hour. It's the work. It's photos, editing, delivery. It is not the same.
Best picture ever.
Yeah,
I don't mind, but I think people remember that moment, and it was a little bit awkward, just to say it. But at the end, it's her wedding.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying this for you, it's a lot. Like, the stakes are higher. You're coordinating time. You have more equipment. You might have more people helping you, which obviously makes sense as to why photographers charge what they charge for a wedding versus a regular shoot. When it comes to wedding planners, have you guys worked with any wedding planners? Yeah.
Many.
What do you say? What do you know when it comes to wedding planners and what they recommend? Do they typically recommend a certain type of tip, or they stay very far from the tipping conversation?
Never had it.
Never heard about that.
No?
Never heard about
never
tipping with wedding. No.
They never recommend a certain type or to the couple, or you don't, maybe
I don't
you
know.
don't know.
I don't know
if
they have had that conversation.
Okay.
But I'm not privy to that.
Fair enough. We got a listener question. Okay. Somebody submitted this. Is this unwritten rule true? If they don't own their own business, you don't have to tip. But if they are an employee, you absolutely should.
Oh, wow.
if they're in,
Yes.
yeah.
I am pro-employee, so like for waitresses and waiters and barmen, yes, they're considered employees.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yes, for sure. And they probably get paid minimum wage. So that's why I agree with
You agree with this statement,
Yeah.
with this unwritten rule?
this unwritten rule, yes.
I guess it applies too if like a makeup artist hires somebody to help them. Do you tip the owner of the makeup business, or and the employee, or do you just tip the employee?
If you know she's an employee, I'd tip her directly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm already paying, and she has some, if I'm already paying a fee and I want to, yeah, I don't know, fair game.
But it's a bride's choice.
Yeah.
At the
For
end
sure,
of the day.
of course.
Actually, realized that on the last wedding I got a guy for the photo booth,
Yeah.
and the bride give like an extra tip to the guy randomly. I'm like, okay, congrats, I'm happy for you. He was working with me, so that's cool. That's not bad.
I think once I had somebody, because I clearly had someone shadowing. It's like, oh, I might have someone extra. They're learning. Oh, can we tip him? Yeah, cool. Go for it.
Yeah, that can be nice.
You think he did a good job? Great. He'll love that.
That's it.
So you would say this is a true unwritten rule. Yeah. Even what about freelancers versus the business owner? What's the difference for you guys actually if somebody owns a business versus they're a freelancer?
So am I working for somebody? Am I being hired by another person? So therefore the responsibility lies on them, or the responsibility on me?
As a freelancer, the responsibility is on you. But let's say you own a business let's say you hire photographers that are paid by contract. So they're freelancers, but you're the business owner.
But they're working on your name.
But they're working under your name.
Yeah, under your name.
I
Good
tend to if I have to hire someone out, that is, I kind of pass on the contract.
Okay.
I will make the connection, but it's now your responsibility. It's your name. It's also when it comes to photography, it's their art. I'm not gonna then say, oh yeah, that's mine. You always want to let them have the not the copyright, the rights to their work, because they're proud of their work. So
But that depends. If you hire the guy, he's taking the picture for your company. You own the picture, right?
yeah, but
It's
when
touchy, it's actually
when I
touchy.
need somebody to shoot for me because I can't do it, that contract is now theirs. It
know,
is
but
theirs to have.
Yeah, but if he shared it on his Instagram.
Yep, it's his to share.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's
All
special.
I
ownership.
feel like you in
That's special,
particular,
though.
though, you full on like pass on the contract. Like you don't claim it under yourself.
No.
No. We're talking here when somebody hires your photo guy, let's say, did you pay him as like a W-2 employee with benefits, or did you pay him as a freelancer? That's what we're kind of trying to establish here. If they're paid as a freelancer, are they considered kind of like an employee and therefore we should tip them? Or if they kind of own their own business but you hired them under a contract, do we not tip them?
I actually feel like, the example for the photo booth, like when I hire someone, he's an employee. So if he's doing an amazing job, everybody, I'm going to tip him like a $25, $50. Like, man, the wedding was amazing. Everybody love you. That's it. I'll be happy to tip for sure.
Okay, so you consider
for an employee.
freelancer and employee kind of the same. How about you guys?
Well, most guests and bride and groom, they don't know that you subcontracted the job,
True.
True.
right? So how are they gonna know that it was?
Between you and him.
Are we talking
Right.
about us tipping or them tipping?
That's an example.
We're talking about the couple tipping a freelancer
Oh.
who is either considered a freelancer or an employee
yeah.
because you're the business owner and you hired them as the vendor.
I think they have enough stuff to worry about.
For real.
Yeah, to like
Yeah.
who's the subcontractor, who's paying that
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
No,
They just see people working there
Yeah,
happy. They tip,
yeah.
they tip to whatever. It's
yeah.
Okay.
they're gonna be happy.
You agree as well that like if it's a freelancer, they're kind of like an employee and therefore tipping is part of this unwritten rule.
Yeah.
If I hired someone as a freelancer, that's my job. It's my responsibility to tip them out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Agree.
Tipping customs definitely vary across the U.S. and Europe. the South, you know, there are destination weddings that happen across the world. I think we covered a lot when it comes to North American tipping. But Catherine, I know you worked in Greece for some time. Tell us a bit about the tipping culture in Europe. What is the standard with weddings?
Well, I'm not going to say it's non-existent. It does exist because when you go to a restaurant, if you're happy with the service, you're going to tip them €1. If the bill is even like over 50 or 100 euros, and I was shocked. That was one of my first culture shocks is that, okay, I was happy with the service. I'm going to tip them 15%. And it's a big no over there. Same for any other service. They don't tip over there.
There's absolutely no tipping when it comes to.
They don't include it in, no? The bill?
Well, I only worked with a wedding planner. So I was like her employee.
Okay.
And she set the rate. I was not setting my rate.
Okay.
So.
And they never, like the bride would never come and tip you
Actually, the aunt, did tip me.
Okay.
So that's because it was extra. It was like a gift for me. So it was not through the wedding planner, right? So.
I like how you guys are saying, we talked about this a bit earlier. You're saying the tip is a gift. It's a very good way to see it because when we say the word tip, at least in North America, it feels like an obligation, but the word gift feels like a desire that they can choose to do or not to do. So that's a very good...
Without consequence.
Without consequence. Like, it's a really good way to describe it.
Think about it. If you put yourself at this position, like I'm working for you, I'm giving you the best service ever, and I don't receive a tip, think about it like, man, I give you the best, I give you more than you want me to. So at the end, I got a little tip, it's a gift. Thank you very much. If I don't have it, I'm gonna go cry, in my room. But at the end of the day, it's part of the game. So that's why I like to see, man, you give me a beautiful service, even waitress, even photographer, pictures, whatever. DJ, if you do something crazy more than I expect, man, I'm gonna tip you for sure. That's how I see life.
Yeah, that's super smart. Tosh, how about you? You do a lot of destination weddings. How's the tipping culture abroad been for you?
It depends where you go. So, for example, Mexico. If you go, let's say, do a Cancun, bring a bunch of dollars. Goes a long way, and I can't tell you exact amounts, but the staff there, you try to tip everybody, whether it's $20.
Yeah, American dollars.
Just bring a bunch.
It's big.
Yeah, and just keep tipping. For them, it goes a long way. I grew up in Dominican Republic, and
nice.
when it comes to the dollar, it really helps the staff a lot more than you think. And I haven't been to many resorts, but I know that's something a lot of people do, that they tip at resorts. And we usually at a destination wedding at a resort, it's that they have the same staff, the same setup as if it would be at a regular resort. And tip anyone you can there. If they're working at the hotel, it goes a long way for them.
And I think they can pay more like the same thing as like it's a regular party or it's a wedding.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They get paid the same thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you can, it means a lot more to them than I think. If you're already doing a destination wedding, you have a few bucks you can allocate to tipping the staff there more than, let's say, here. So.
As the vendor, however, from your perspective, what kind of tips have you seen for your service? You mentioned a little bit it was an upgrade was one type of tip, but is there anything outside of cash tip that couples will choose to gift you for your service?
Hey, we'd like to take you out for dinner. We love what you did. Let us know when you're in town and we'll go. That has been the biggest one. Where they're like, oh, are you in town? Look, we're doing next Thursday. Are you free? We'd love to do that. Oh, my parents are coming too. They loved you. And that's been one of the biggest ones. Been.
It's crazy when clients become your friends.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, that's what it is, and it's part of.
That's when you know you made it. That to me was the biggest. It made my job so much easier.
Exactly.
All of a sudden we're chatting. We're talking about other stuff, and it just becomes, oh, okay, I guess you trusted me with this big thing. I really hope you like the photos.
Of course.
No more friends. No. But yeah, I think that has been I think it's more personal too. It's not just money, not just cash. Don't get me wrong. When I see a extra 100 or extra 200, nice. Look, it's like quick dinner. Whatever. It's just it's greatly appreciated, but by no means is it needed.
You guys are bringing up such interesting points. It goes beyond money here for you, in particular, with your story about being asked to come to dinner. It sounds like that almost is even better than an actual like cash gift, because it's almost like the couple takes care of you as their vendor. Would you both feel as though a gift like that is even more valuable than a cash tip?
Yes, when they feed me, yes.
Yeah.
So when they offer me food, I do take it, but then I don't have time at the same time. So I'll keep it on the side to like eat later when I'm finished. So yeah, that's I think more appreciated than a tip, than a $5 tip.
Yeah, same thing. But like it's really depend on the energy of the bride and groom. I feel like at the beginning when we start the wedding, I feel like the energy they bring it to you, like, oh man, I'm so excited. Thank you, Anthony. We love you. Thank you for being here. Just that kind of energy. This is a tip for me. This is it's a big difference that hype you up to do an amazing job. And then at the end, you don't expect a tip, but it's going to be, man, wow, what an amazing job. That's a tip for me. That's, I'm happy. Feedback. That's the best thing that, in this business, that's part of the game.
I need to know if I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, that's enough. Just give me a high five.
It goes a long way.
Share those memories, this amazing wedding, and I'll be happy. I think that's a tip. That's for me. That's a gift.
It is. I'm also hearing that you guys are kind of saying like, take care of us, but like basically like treat us as part of like one of you, and you feel like it's even more validating. Like you just said, when people feed you, you really feel appreciated. One time, do you remember what I asked you about? I asked you one time when we were talking about our engagement party. DJing.
Yeah.
Has it ever happened that somebody didn't feed you at a wedding? You said no.
No.
And I was surprised.
Yeah, but the problem is like I'm too much. I don't know how to say it. I put my I'm when I'm at the wedding, I don't care. You forget about me. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. I'm gonna eat. I'm that kind of person. I don't mind. But sometimes it happens. It happens. Oh, I didn't know. Like, this is so stupid. At the end of the day, we part. We are guests. We working. We all there. And when I told you about the bride and groom need to be, they eat first, and then all the group, all the people working, they need to eat directly after the bride and groom. It's part of the family. We working, right? So that's the only moment that we can eat. So when people forget that, I'm like, oh, at the end, like, I feel like it's a little disrespect, but sometimes people don't think as we think, so.
Guys, feed your vendors. Like, we feed your vendors.
Give you the best service ever.
Yeah, feed your vendors. Very important. I love it.
Empty stomach is not a.
It's not fun for anybody to be working on
It's
an
a long day too.
Yeah.
It is.
We start at 10 o'clock in the morning and it's 7 o'clock and
Yeah, for
everybody
you guys.
stop. Yeah. But I don't think I've ever had an instance where maybe a little late. We got this. It's like, okay.
Like that.
Thank you, but I was hungry. It was
They always
like
give you
10
the food
o'clock,
at the end. No,
and
don't
dinner
tell me
started
I'm
at
wrong.
7.
You always got the food at the end, right?
No, not always.
You
Not
sure
always.
about that?
100%.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
But
Do you add it in your contract now that you have to have a meal? No?
Usually they ask. The
I
bride
think my
groom, they ask.
photographer added it in my contract because this happened to them where they weren't fed, and they do 12-hour days.
Yeah.
Like, it's long not to be fed,
putting in, I think in my contract, I do require to be within the room.
Okay.
There's sometimes where they're like, oh, we have a staff table, which is great. But sometimes, according to the schedule, I have to look at the schedule, because if there's stuff on it, like if there's speeches, every X, and then I'm in a different room upstairs and I'm running down, there's just no way. But if that's the case, then I'll eat before or I'll eat way after. But it depends on the schedule. Like if I see on the schedule I have a 20-minute window, perfect.
But sometimes I'm actually sitting down, like, alone on that table, because usually photographer, sometimes I tell them you can leave after 8, after 7. So I don't know. And I don't see a lot of photographer eating sometimes with me.
Oh, I'm
It
done.
It depends on the culture.
10:30 is usually,
Yeah.
unless
depend
they
on the
ask.
culture.
Yeah. Unless
Depend
they
on
ask
the
for
bride
me to
groom.
stay later.
Yeah.
But no, I'm there dinner and then dance part. But no, food. It's been
okay.
Yeah.
I think more the like makeup artists, hair artists tend to get forgotten. I think more when it comes to food because you come so early in the morning. Like when it comes to dinner, you're like, oh, dinner. They're photographer, DJ, MC. They're there at dinner. But
You're
like
part of the breakfast.
you're
I'm part of the breakfast.
Brunch.
Yeah, the brunch.
At least you got a croissant or something.
Yeah, I have like fruits and
Yeah.
sometimes they like drink like 10 o'clock. I'm like, and I can't drink a mimosa at 10 a.m.
Oh my god, the mimosa.
Yeah, but I've heard even so many bridal parties forgetting to eat during getting ready. So it's something to really know when people are planning their wedding to like ensure every vendor throughout the day gets fed.
Sometimes
at some
it's
point.
the stress.
It's
People
that
don't
too.
realize like, oh my god, it's maybe after between the church and oh my god, I'm super hungry. They go to McDonald's just to grab something. You know?
But on that note too, like in the morning, sometimes they'll have like wraps, and I've had cases where they've had my name on the wrap.
Okay, that's
I was
cool.
like,
Oh, that's nice.
That's attention to
That's
detail
super
right
nice.
there.
I'm gonna take
Okay.
notes of all these tips. Like,
Yeah, and
that's
it
such
goes
a
a long way. It's
idea.
like, wow, they had a wrap for me. Okay, I don't know what would change in terms of my workflow, but it's already an
You're
extra
happy.
5%.
Exactly.
You
This
know.
is showing love.
Satisfaction.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
You know, it's a vendor relationship with a couple what's the word? Reciproc?
Yeah.
What's
That's exactly. I
the
want
word?
you to say. I want you to say it.
Reciprocated.
I want you to say it. That's exactly the word.
It is reciprocated. Like it has to be reciprocated, and sometimes we don't see it that way, but we definitely should. Like it's very important to see it,
It
that
is.
way.
It is. It's a big effect during the night.
Yeah.
During the vibe of the night, during the vibe of the bride and groom. I'm telling you, this is making the big difference during the wedding.
Yeah, 100%.
Part 2 of the vendor tipping debate coming at you next week. Stay tuned.